What's up, everyone? So I made it to another hotel and another great shower. Feels so good after a week of just riding through heat, hot. Man, I think we got hit with like a little heat wave. Got up to like 100 degrees. I think it was for a few days, a couple days, which I didn't even notice until I was riding because you get that breeze, that wind, so it's just like, man, it's a little warm. Then you stop and I check my weather app and I was just like, wow. Satan, you there? Yeah, it was pretty hot. All right, so anyways, guys, so I have made a list. Okay, so this list here is the top 10 things that I wish I knew before I went on this long distance ride. It definitely would have helped out quite a bit. All right, well, let's get to it because this is going to be a long video if I just don't get right into it. So, all right, let me clear my throat. All right, top 10 things. So there's no particular order to this, and like I said, I'm just going to jump right into it. So here we go. I got my little handy-dandy list right here so I don't forget anything. All right, let's see. Let's go with number one. I would definitely bring a reflective or really bright shirt, and I would have bought pannier bags that were also reflective or really bright. Definitely traffic is a big deal, especially on the Pacific Coast route. You're going to be jumping in and off of like freeways, main roads, and you definitely want to make sure people, could see you coming. I ended up getting a reflective vest, like one of the you see like the construction workers and like the people on the on the highways or whatever, that kind of thing. And I just wrapped my duffel bag. So I have 3 bags on the back. I have 2 pannier bags, and then I have like a little duffel bag that just goes right on top. And on top of that duffel bag, I just wrapped the vest around there, which I think probably helped quite a bit. But I went with like just a regular shirt, and my bags are all like black. Again, I definitely would have went with a bright shirt. One for the heat too, because it is getting hot. So it won't absorb as much of the heat. Won't attract the rays or whatever. And another thing is, you just want to make sure that people could see you. All right. Let's see. The next thing is a mirror, for sure. I wish I should have brought it right from the beginning. Really important. It's you can always kind of like flip back and take a quick look, but the mirror, it just helps so much. You could just go ahead and take a quick look, and you could see if someone's coming, or if you could hear something. Like if they're hitting those little bumps or whatever it is, and you could just know that someone's getting a little too close to you, so you kind of veer a little over. Definitely. That should be like a law, really. I mean, you should definitely have like a little mirror with you. I think it's that important. It's a pretty big deal. I use the one that's attached to the helmet. Works for me. I've seen a lot of people that have them attached to the bike. I had mine attached to the bike, but because I'm doing such a long ride, a lot of the stuff I have, it's really, really heavy, so I can't really put my bike up on a kickstand, so I'm always putting it down. So within like 2 days, I like destroyed the mirror that I brought, because it was like attached to my handlebars. So whatever works for you, the helmet, that mirror worked for me. Let's see, next thing, showers. Not very easy to come by. Not in this one, not in this ride anyways. I was thinking, I'd be able to hit I'm a member of Planet Fitness. So I was thinking, I could just hit Planet Fitnesses along the way. And then I heard of warm showers, couch surfing. So I was like, I could just, hook up with people and, whatever. Campsites. I was like, hit up with the campsites. Nope. There's not very many Planet Fitnesses, unless you're hitting like major towns, because I mean, obviously, why would you set up a Planet Fitness in a place that's like, only has like 500 people, 1,000 people, right? So that didn't work. The warm couches, it's a cool idea, but I don't know, maybe just because I'm lazy, but you have to you got to plan ahead, and I'm not much of a planner ahead kind of guy, it's like you got to sit there and you got to write people and ask them, you got to make sure they're going to be around, and it's like, you know what I mean? And then even if you do set something up, they could bail on you last minute, so it's like, but then again, I haven't really used it very, very much, so I think I use it once. I tried to use it once or twice and didn't really come through. So And it's kind of like a couch surfing kind of thing. I don't know if you guys, I've done a lot of traveling, so, and that's another one that, I'd rather just, so what I've been doing is I just been like using baby wipes, and just kind of like wipe down like the major areas, your face, your armpits, whatever. And then just hitting up a motel, just biting the bullet, hitting a motel, which you kind of need, dude. You know what I mean? It's kind of like a little vacation. You need that, like, just being civilized, for me anyways, because I've been doing a lot of like stealth camping and stuff. So, every few days, once a week, you need that like just really good shower, that really comfortable bed, and just chilling out. You know what I mean? So it actually kind of worked out. So yeah, so that's something I wish I would have known beforehand. Good, next one, good maps and apps. So I just kind of wing it, man. I just kind of go for things. I don't really plan too much ahead, which it's kind of a good thing because it kind of adds to the adventure, and you get to like meet people, and people reach out, ask for help or whatever. Which, I mean, you'll get through it. I've been getting through it, but yeah, in some areas, I definitely wish I would have had better maps, especially as soon as you hit close to like San Francisco, and you start heading a little further down, you're going to be getting, so like up north when you're going through like 101, that's like the main road of a lot of like the towns and stuff that you go through. So you're going to see all the towns, you're going to see the coast, and it's cool. But as soon as you start getting further down, like around San Francisco, that becomes more of like a highway. And then you're going to get booted off. And it's a highway. So it's like riding a regular highway. You know what I mean? You're not seeing like these small towns on the coast and everything else. So you're going to get booted off. And you have to constantly take like side roads, main roads, where you go through those small towns and like the coastline. And that's what you really want to see anyways. You know what I mean? But it's constantly changing. You know what I mean? So you could get lost. You could go down dead ends. You could, so that's where it's like, you want to have a proper bike app or something. And Google Maps, that's what I was using. Oh my God, it was like it took me through like a Chevron, like poisonous gas, like private road. It took me through like a military base, dirt road. So like, I mean, it could get you through, but be cautious. Yeah, if you're gonna use Google Apps, I would recommend Maps.me. It's a free app. And that's been working for me. You could use, I forget the name of it. It's American Cyclist or something, whatever it is. Which, from what I heard, it's good maps, but they're pricey. Like, really pricey. Like, I forget what it is. The AA biking or something. I forget what it is. But, yeah, I was actually going to get the paper maps for this trip. And it was like $25-$30 for every like little section, and I would have needed like 10 maps to do this one thing, and it would have been like $200 worth of like little maps. I don't even know what the app costs, but I would have, it's a little too pricey. So I'm sure there are a lot of like free apps and stuff out there if you just do a little bit more research, and I would recommend that. Let's see, audiobooks. So you're going to be doing a lot of like just writing, just kind of zoning out, which is cool. Like, you kind of want that time to just kind of just think and like, zone out and then just take in everything, which is, it's part of the trip. That's cool. But every day, all day for like a month, 2 months, it's, you probably would want, I personally like the audiobooks. I was like, music can only go so far too, at least with me. So, and I like to like try and learn, and I don't know, I'm just kind of a weirdo like that. I don't know, I just, for me, I would definitely get like an audiobook app, and I forgot the one I use. It's not Kindle, it's I don't know, but even like your local library, you could call them up, and if you have a library card, there's like a couple apps that you could actually download audiobooks on, and you could just listen to them as you go. So you actually kind of like learning, and and it's interesting. It kind of passes some of the boring time, So definitely recommend that for sure, big time. And that leads into the next thing, which is a book. So there's been times where like I was going through like the Redwood forest, and I had like no Wi-Fi signal for like 2-3 days. And like every night I would stealth camp, and I would usually go on like Wi-Fi and Facebook and talk to people, whatever. And that was like my like thing. Like at the end of the night, I was like, I get to just relax and like talk to some people and whatever. But when you have no Wi-Fi, and then you don't want to listen to audiobooks. You want something visual. At least I did. So for me, I actually brought a book, but it was like this thick ass book. But so glad I did it, because like it definitely gave you that little bit of entertainment at night. It kind of calmed you down and just kind of like gave you something to do. So I would definitely bring a book, or some type of Kindle, or you could just download the Kindle app or something similar to that, on your phone, so you can go ahead and read and have something to do at night. Every once in a while when you just don't have that Wi-Fi signal. Let's see. For all you coffee people, which I'm not a big coffee guy, but sometimes you just need that like little boost in the morning to kind of head out, especially if you're gonna be just like go every day, putting in 6, 7, 8 hours of just riding. So for me, I didn't actually even pick this up, but I've seen some people, this Australian couple. These guys are so awesome. You're probably not watching this because I didn't even tell you about my Wi-Fi. I mean my YouTube channel, unfortunately, but they were so awesome. This is a family of this Australian couple. They were traveling with their kids. They've been traveling for like the last 2 years, like all over the world. And they were doing the last, when I met up with them, it was at a bike camp. And they were riding, I believe it was like from Portland, Oregon to like San Francisco or something like that, with their 2 kids. One was like 1 year old. They were actually like, I think it was like a month old or something when they took the trip, or so. I forget what it was. Or maybe it was 2 years old, something like that. And then the other one was like 4 or 5. I was like, wow, that's awesome. But anyways, they showed me the AeroPress, which is kind of like a French press. It's just a bit more minimized. And they treated me to a cup of coffee, and it tasted great, and it was simple. And I would definitely recommend bringing an AeroPress if you're big into coffee, because instant coffee, man, it'll get you sick. It's disgusting. I heard Starbucks instant coffee is Via or something like that. It's supposed to be really, really good. But I didn't try it. I was just using whatever instant coffee I came by, and it's just not very good. So yeah, AeroPress. I don't know. Let's see, the next one. Get the right bike with the right gear. I mean, don't get ripped off. You know what I mean? You don't need, unless this is going to be like your thing, like your hobby, and you really like, you're going to be doing a lot of weekend trips, a lot of long trips, or you're going to be doing like an around the world trip, then I would recommend, get like a Shirley long haul trucker, or like, a Trek 520, or whatever, the million different types. And those are like those 2 that I just mentioned. From the research I've done and the people I've spoken to, they're like a cheaper. So how do I want to word this? It's not as expensive, but it's like a proper bike. You know what I mean? It's gonna last. It's gonna take a beating, and and it's not a crazy. It's like $1,000, $2,000 range. Which is actually like, that's like an average in the bike world, which is a little pricey for a lot of people, but it's, if you're gonna be riding everywhere or whatever, it might be worth it. But if you're gonna be doing like one long trip or just a lot of weekend trips, you really don't, you don't. Unless you want to just show off, and you don't need to. All you have the money to throw out. Hey, go for it. You know what I mean? Hey, live your life. Do whatever you want to do. But you don't have to do that. You could buy a cheaper bike. What I did, I was using this as a learning experience. I do so much traveling. I've been all over the world. I've been to 50 different countries. I've been all over the States. I've done all kinds of crazy treks and hiking. I've been through the Sahara. I've been through, I've done so much, you know what I mean? So I don't really have like one thing, you know what I mean? One hobby, whatever. So like this bike touring thing, this is just one more of like all this crazy stuff that I do, So for me, like, and I'm a bit of a minimalist. minimalist. So if I was to stack up like all these things that I do, all these hobbies, rock climbing, kayaking, all that, I would have to have like this like major storage area. You know what I mean? So it's like, so I'm kind of like a one and done, kind of burn it as I go. So it really doesn't, for me, it doesn't really make sense to invest too much into something. So that being said, you could totally just go to like on Craigslist or a pawn shop, you know what I mean, and just buy something decent, like. And I would recommend something decent. Like my first bike, this is kind of embarrassing, but it was a Walmart bike. I was like, why not? I was like, this is just gonna be like a 2,000 mile trip or something like that. I was like, any bike should be able to make it. Well, yes and no. It would probably be able to make it, but you need the proper bike for what you're doing. You know what I mean? In this case, because like, all right. So I went with a commuter road bike, and with my weight plus all the gear I had, it just wouldn't last. The bike started, the tire within like a week, I started breaking spokes, started to get warps, a bunch of flat tires, is because it just was way too heavy. But that being said, I think if I kind of like hacked the bike, you know what I mean? Like if I was to buy like the proper tires, the proper wheels, I probably would have got through it. You know what I mean? But obviously, it would have been more of an investment. What I ended up doing is I went to the pawn shop and I bought a mountain bike. I bought a Diamondback mountain bike, nothing special. I think brand new it goes for like $300-400. I bought it for $150, and I'm looking at it right now. It's been about 1,000 miles, and no issues at all. You know what I mean? So you don't need that $1,000-2,000 bike, man. You don't get sold. When you go to the bike shops, which, the bike shops, the people there are usually really, really cool, but it's like going to REI, you know what I mean? It's like, yeah, I'm going to go hiking for the weekend, and they want to sell you like this $500 backpack, you know what I mean? You don't need that, I mean, it's cool if that's what you want to do, you know what I mean? Hey, live your life, man, if you want to have, but I don't know, maybe I'm just cheap, frugal, whatever, I don't know, but man, you could do it. If you don't have the cash and you want to do it, I'm telling you can do it, But if you want to buy all that top-notch gear, if this is like your thing, you know what I mean? Like you love this stuff and this is what you're going to be doing, then yeah, I would invest, Or if you're going to do, again, like a long trip, then it'll probably be worth, investing a little bit more. So, all right, I'm rambling way too far on about that. I'm just so cheap that I love to save other people money, I guess, you know what I mean? All right, anyways, let's move on. What do we got here? I think we're down to like 2 more. All right, let's see here. The next thing is have a rough idea how to fix bikes. At least the basic stuff, you know what I mean? Definitely, like all right, years ago when I was a kid, like I haven't really rode bikes in like forever. When I was a kid, I used to ride bikes, then as soon as I hit like 16, I got a car. So I never really, maybe once in a while I'll probably go for a bike ride or whatever. Or when I got older, I think when I was like in Taiwan, there was like a lot of bike riding and stuff, but I never really had to fix anything, So so when I took this bike ride, there was a lot of things, especially fixing flats, taking the bike apart, just basic maintenance, or lubing everything up, or whatever, tightening up your brakes and a lot of little things. I'm pretty mechanically inclined, problem solver. I've always been a tinkerer. You know what I mean? Always, just love to like take things apart, fix things. So for me, it was pretty easy to pick it up and learn it. But I would definitely recommend, just maybe. I don't even know if they have classes or anything, but maybe picking up a quick book and just kind of going through it, or just like maybe a couple YouTube videos and just having a rough idea, or just bring a few extra bucks and just hit bike shops along the way and have them fix it for you. Let's see, last thing. Okay, so what I did was I chose to go with 2 panniers in the back and a bag on top. I ended up going with a duffel bag. A lot of people go with the 4 panniers. They go with the 2 in the front and 2 in the back. I guess it's to distribute the weight properly or whatever. I kind of go pretty minimalist. I don't really need a whole lot. So the two in the back plus the duffel bag works perfect for me. The only thing I would have done differently was instead of the duffel bag, I would have went with a backpack. I probably would have went like a 65-liter backpack or something. And I would probably go with one that opens up all the way, so it's just easier to access whatever you have in the bag. And the reason being is because when you go to like a hotel, or if you do find a gym or something along the way, or for whatever reason when you have to take all your gear off, or if you're gonna have to like find a stealth camp and you need to like break down really quick, because you're on the side of the road and people are driving by and you want to just hurry up and go, but you have to like hop a barricade or something like that. It'd be so much easier if that was a backpack. Reason being is because you could just take that off, put it on your bag, grab your two panniers, and one in each hand or two in one hand, whatever, and then just bring your stuff into wherever you have to bring it. Up the stairs into your hotel room, or like I said, over a barricade or whatever, or even into the gym. And you're done. Instead of having to grab the duffel bag, bring that because it's all extra heavy. I guess you could try and make it a backpack, but it doesn't really work. I've tried. Or if you have the 4 panniers, then you have to go 2. I'd rather have all my gear one shot, bring it in, and then come back, double back for my bag. For my bike or whatever. So that's what I would do. So that's it. Yeah, we did it. All right, guys. Well, that was the top 10 things that I wish I knew before I went on my long-distance cycling trip. So I hope that was helpful. I hope you guys enjoyed it. And if I missed anything, please leave it down in the comments. Help the next guy out. So, all right, guys. Thanks for watching. I appreciate you. And catch you next time. Peace.